So, I'm dangerously unemployed, and unemployed people always have to be doing some shit. So, instead of getting a job, I spent 4 months building a robotic arm. Oh, wait, before we actually get started, rip to the 3D printer that I built. I had to use it for parts so I could actually build this arm, so you'll be remembered, I guess. So, like, I genuinely have no idea how to make any of this even remotely interesting to explain or watch, but basically, we started off with a base, and this is Fusion 360, and I just designed the bottom plate, which then led to what is it? To the which then led to the gear that sat on top of the plate. I genuinely have no idea why there's so many extra steps in between all of this, but yeah, basically that was the designing phase. I just sat on my computer for a few hours and messed around with some shapes until I found something that looked good to me, I guess. That's what I did with the rest of the parts. So yeah, that's just gonna be a quick update over this section, and then yeah, we just skim through that. Okay, so this is what all the parts look like when they fully 3D printed and laid out. I'm not gonna lie, I already put this together, and then I had to deassemble it and reassemble it again because I forgot to film. But yeah, basically, it'd be like that sometimes. This is the bottom plate. This is going to attach onto this, and it's held in place it's held together by a bearing at the bottom and clamps in place, and has a shaft over here that basically puts it together, and an end stop over there. When that step's done, we've got 5 smooth rods that slot in place in all the different sections. I suck at cutting rods, so these are not even. Okay, and that is the whole assembly of the bottom half. So next is the base rotary system that connects to the bottom half and basically spins the whole thing around. It consists of a NEMA, a gear, and the shaft clamp, I guess. Let's just call it that. And this basically goes on there. And then it's bolted in. And then this just slots onto here. And then the whole thing is connected to the base. These screws were the godsend of this project. I made an impulsive decision to buy an entire case of M3 screws instead of just the ones I needed, and I ended up needing more than I actually had, so MVP right here. So basically for the base, we've got these bearings that each slot into place like this. This one is not cooperating for some reason, so I might have to hit it down. And then once those are in place, there's a second. I'll just show you, man. This is going to be the base arm that slots into place. It also has a slot for a bearing. And just one at the bottom. The top plate goes in place. And then when you get to this point, it just locks it in place, like so. And then you just tighten these into place. And now the final joint consists of two parts. It's just basically, this is like the bottom joint and this is the main one. It basically slots into place over here. And then this goes into the bottom. And then it's just screwed to the top. It's just screwed through the top and then yeah, it holds it into place. The way it slots into place, this mechanism is easily my favorite part that I designed through the process of this build, but it's also the weakest link because literally if you
literally Ya Allah, literally
tight, literally if you tighten it even slightly too hard, it breaks and you're cooked. Literally cooked. You're literally cooked. You're literally cooked. So, and this is what it looks like when it's fully assembled. Let's go cinematic with it. So damn good. It looks so good. One thing I don't like though is how the labeling on here is this way, but then over here it's flipped. But then I really didn't want to have to reprint. I really didn't want to have to reprint this whole arm just to fix that. So I'll just put up with it. Okay, so I noticed for this part, I just like straight up yap for 2 minutes over pointless reasons why my code is still ass. So I got bored listening to it, so we're just gonna skip over it. Basically, the summary is it would have been easier to use Marlin because it has all the presets and I wouldn't have had to do as much coding, but at the time I didn't know that, and either way my code sucked. So and we still used Marlin later on, but that's for a different project, but still, yeah. So anyway, on the wires end, we just basically have this ramps board and Arduino and a 12 volts power supply, and that's basically just it. I put a fan on the top just to help with the cooling. Alright, so besides all the very many crash outs that happened throughout this video, this was a fun project to make. The most challenging parts were the CAD, since I had no idea how any of that worked before the video started, and I had to learn that. And the programming had its fair challenges too, because I was watching anime in the back of class instead of paying attention to the programming lessons, so that did end up biting me in the ass. But besides that, the project went relatively how I imagined it would, and I feel I could have finished a lot sooner if I wasn't playing Marvel Rivals for like 100 hours. But yeah, that's, I guess, my final thoughts on the build up to this point. Alright, so the video is basically over now, but I had a few upgrades that I had added to the arm, so I just decided to add it to the end of this video instead of splitting it into two parts. It isn't working perfectly yet and still needs refinement, but yeah. Alright, test one, drawing a simple circle. Okay. Sick. Okay, I don't know. I think test like 4,500. Drawing a circle. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Look at that. I drew it. Okay, I know the circle looks like absolute shit, right? We still need to configure a lot of stuff, but to get here, from the start, we've been doing this. Look at it. Oh, yes. It's a circle. Let's fucking go.